The year was 381 AD, more than half a century after the Council of Nicaea. Christianity had grown stronger, but unity was still fragile. The Creed of Nicaea had declared Christ to be truly God, of one essence with the Father, but the struggle over doctrine did not end there. New debates arose, and once again the Church was in crisis. Arianism, the teaching that Christ was a created being, had not disappeared. It found new champions and spread widely, especially under emperors who favored Arius's ideas. Entire regions of the empire were divided. The very faith of Nicaea seemed in danger of collapse. But another question had also emerged. Who was the Holy Spirit? Was the Spirit truly God, equal with the Father and the Son, or merely a power or force sent by God? Some taught that the Spirit was divine. Others claimed he was only a ministering angel. The Church had not yet spoken clearly, and confusion spread. By this time, a new emperor ruled the eastern half of the empire. His name was Theodosius I. Unlike some of his predecessors, Theodosius was deeply committed to the Nicene faith. He believed that only by clarifying doctrine could the Church and empire be truly united. So he summoned bishops from across the empire to gather in the city of Constantinople, the new imperial capital, for what would become the Second Great Ecumenical Council. The year was 381. Around 150 bishops attended, nearly all of them from the eastern provinces of the empire. The West was not strongly represented, but the decisions of the council would affect the entire Christian world. The bishops entered their debates with the memory of Nicaea still vivid, but now the issues had expanded. Arian bishops were still present, pressing the case that Christ was not eternal. Other groups, known as the Macedonians or Pneumatomachi, denied the divinity of the Holy Spirit, teaching that the Spirit was not God, but a creation of God. Still others attempted to find compromises, but these only created more division. The defenders of the Nicene faith stood firm. They declared that the Son was not merely like the Father, but of the same essence, eternal and fully divine. And they argued that the Holy Spirit too was no creature, but God Himself, proceeding from the Father, worthy of the same worship and glory. The council spent weeks debating, correcting, and clarifying. At its climax, the bishops reaffirmed the Creed of Nicaea and expanded it. The result was what we now call the Nicene Constantinopolitan Creed. It declared the eternal divinity of Christ, but also spoke clearly of the Holy Spirit, calling Him the Lord and giver of life, who proceeds from the Father, who with the Father and the Son is worshipped and glorified. With these words, the Council gave final shape to the Christian understanding of the Trinity. One God in three persons, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, equal in divinity and glory. The Creed was not a new invention, but the full flowering of what had been declared at Nicaea. The Council also condemned Arianism and the Macedonian heresy, cutting away the teachings that had divided the Church for decades. The bishops issued canons, or rulings, to order the life of the Church, and they granted special honor to the Bishop of Constantinople, raising the new imperial capital to a place of prominence after Rome. Theodosius enforced the decisions of the council across his empire. He ordered churches to adhere to the Nicene faith and expelled those who refused. By imperial decree and ecclesiastical consensus, the Creed of Constantinople became the standard of Christian orthodoxy. The legacy of the council was immense. The Nicene Constantinopolitan Creed, recited even today in Christian liturgy, remains one of the clearest statements of faith ever written. It binds together East and West, ancient and modern, with words forged in the heat of controversy and preserved through centuries of devotion. The Council of Constantinople did not simply end an argument. It gave the Church its full confession of the Trinity, a doctrine that would shape Christian thought, worship, and identity for all time. What began as debates in imperial halls became the very heartbeat of Christian belief, echoing down the centuries in cathedrals, chapels, and homes across the world. From the imperial city of Constantinople to every corner of the Christian world, the words of that council still resound. The Father Almighty, the Son, true God from true God, and the Holy Spirit, the Lord and Giver of life, one God in three persons, worshipped and glorified forever.